Introducing the epic new Swift. Time to go swifting.
Match 66 sees the Sunrisers Hyderabad return to action at home after a bit of a break, and they have genuine chances of not only making the playoffs but the top two. So they'd be buoyed by that. But the Gujarat Titans had a washout that confirmed their elimination from the race to the playoffs. So on Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPN Cricinfo timeout, powered by JBL, Mitch McClenaghan and Varun Aaron, to talk about a bowler who's found form just at the right time to start with. Bhuvaneshwar Kumar started steady, but Varun, in recent games, he's really turned it up. 6 matches, the last 6, 7 wickets at an average of under 13, economy of just over 6, striking at 12. What has Bhuvi done differently, if anything at all?
I think he was bowling well from the start itself. He hasn't done too much differently. He might have got his feels better, I feel, over the past few games, but he's bowling good areas. He was swinging the ball. He wasn't doing too much wrong. I would say his death bowling was not really good in the first half. His death bowling has improved now. I think that's also on the back of getting confidence with the new ball, getting wickets with the new ball. With any bowler, if you picked up a few wickets at the start in your first spell, you always go into your second spell with more confidence. That's exactly what's happened with Bhuvi. But I don't think he's changed much. He's been bowling well the whole season.
Yeah, we talk about the leading wicket taker in the power play, and Bhuvaneshwar Kumar used to dominate these numbers at his prime, and he's dominating it even now. 10 wickets, an economy of 7.27. Is the ball just swinging suddenly for Bhuvi, Mitch? Or is it sometimes just one game where he got Roman Powell on the wrong side of that full toss and suddenly Bhuvi feels like, yeah,
confident,
I can do everything?
Look, I tell you what, I reckon his pace has been up the last 3 or 4 games, and sometimes that can happen as the season goes on. You find something that you just get into a better rhythm, and so then when it does swing, it's swinging at a higher speed, and there's less time to adjust as a batsman. So he's always been accurate. He's always moved the ball, but just that little bit of extra behind the ball can sometimes have a significant impact.
He'll likely be bowling to Sai Sudharsan, who has found a new tempo with Shubman Gill. If it wasn't for that washout, we could have gotten to see them one more time, but they played a terrific hand against Super Kings. And as we look at GT's most impactful batters in this year's IPL, Sudarshan's up there. It has been a struggle. This is a team that cannot make the playoffs, as we've mentioned. But at 36.6, as per ESPN Cricinfo Smart Stats, young Sai Sudharsan is GT's highest impact batter. Question is whether that CSK game was a one-off, or do we expect Sudarshan to now bat in that tempo regularly in this format for GT?
Yeah, I hope so. I really hope so, because he's got so much class, he's got so much skill. He's a player that you want to do really well, and I guess it's just he's so new into this format, right? He only played 5 games in 2022. He played when Kane got injured last year. He was more of a permanent fixture in that side, and this year he's had a prolonged run again. So I think he's just learning the game of T20 cricket, what's required at the IPL level. And at the start of the season, I think he may have been a little bit slow in terms of, particularly against seam. I think he's a very good player of spin and aggressive against spin. But I think he's kind of really just looked at what's going around the IPL. When the pressure was off, when they were pretty much out, the kind of shackles have come off. And I think this is the Sai Sudharsan that's going to need to continue forward for Gujarat Titans.
Continue forward, you said. They'd already be thinking forward as a franchise, Gujarat Titans. How close is Sudarshan to among the top players that you want to retain, you want to build the future of your franchise around? Is it sustainable to think of Shubman and Sudarshan as your pair going forward to build a GT franchise?
Oh, for sure. Sudarshan has to be there. He has to be one of the 4. Obviously, I know other teams are also looking at Shubman to get him to be a part of their teams. But if he stays at the Gujarat Titans, he is obviously going to lead. So there's going to be Shubman, Sudarshan, Rashid, three guys who are definitely going to be there. We'll have to see how Shami is with his fitness.
Yes.
If not Shami, then you have Rahul Tewati or David Miller. That's how they're going to structure their squad.
You know of other franchises who want?
I mean, it's not official.
I mean, everyone would want him, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Sure.
I'd be shocked if he enters the auction. But let's get a prediction for now. GT, dangerous team. We saw that for CSK. So this is no cakewalk for Sunrisers. But are they still favourites, the home team for you, Sunrisers Hyderabad?
I think especially going in with the win of their last game, it was incredible. The kind of hitting we saw, it was, I mean, we thought that 280 plus score was something, but that was just on a whole different level. So they're taking a lot of momentum, a lot of confidence, and they're playing for something. they're playing for their cue. Gujarat are playing for pride, which is also a good way to go into a game. It's going to be a good game, but I see Hyderabad coming out on the other side.
Also, a long time back. Yes.
Yeah, sorry. That point you touched on there, they're playing for something. They're playing for their qualification, almost playing for top 2. I'm really, really interested to see in such a crucial match. Yes, Gujarat are pretty much out, but yes, I really find it fascinating of will that batting side, the lineup that they've got, be able to go out with the same intent when there's some pressure on. I think these next 2 games are a really good test of can they play the same style of cricket that they've been playing with the bat and take that into the playoffs. I think this will know whether there's a few holes or a few gaps in their side.
I think they will, to be honest, because that crazy knock from Head and Abhishek came off 2 or 3 really not the best games, I would say, and there were a lot of questions on their approach. And they could have easily questioned the way they were getting into the games, the way they were taking on bowlers. But I think it's very clear they've committed to a style of play, and they are going to live by it or die by it.
Quick word though on their selection call. Is Vijaykanth Viyashkanth now the 4th overseas?
Yeah, I think so. Depending on conditions, right?
We haven't seen a lot of dew in Hyderabad.
No, we haven't. So which means it's probably more likely to favour the spinners. I thought he bowled very nicely the other night.
Yeah.
He wasn't put under too much pressure until pouring came out, so that's still an unanswered question for Hyderabad. Otherwise, I think they would lean for Faisal Farooqi, who's a genuine wicket taker, can really demoralise a side at the top of the innings, and that's probably where they're missing just a little bit at the moment.
We'd stick to the same team for Gujarat, even though we didn't see Matthew Wade. They've changed it up, but they'd go with the same team that beats CSK?
For sure. I think the most refreshing thing in that game, obviously, if we leave aside both the obvious centuries, was Umesh Yadav's bowling. His pace was up by 5K. He was really running in. Like, I was on comms the other day, and I've been playing with Umesh since we were very young, and I could just see him run in a lot faster. Immediately, after the first 10 balls, we checked his average speed. His average speed for the whole season was about 136. That match it was 142, which is the way you want to see Umesh bowl, right? Like bowling rapid.
All right, thank you very much. Sunrisers for Varun, Sunrisers for you as well, Mitch.
Yes.
Favourites, thank you very much. And Sunrisers versus GT is the game on Thursday in the IPL, a big one for the home side. And that wraps up our preview on Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPN Cricinfo Timeout, powered by JBL.
Introducing the epic new Swift. Time to go swifting.